Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Let's talk about an uncivilized mutt. An associate professor at Hunter College in New York City is facing widespread backlash after she was caught on a live microphone making racist remarks about Black students during a heated New York City school meeting. Yeah, fam. Y'all tired of it yet? Check it out.
Another important part of CES for me is our speech program. I've been receiving speech services since first grade. I attend Mr. Goldman and 2 other students on Fridays. He delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
Black schools that like they're
They're
too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
Independent in our class.
I mean, fuck. But apparently Martin Luther King said it. Like, if you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They're just
Allyson Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You've got to stop.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Go ahead, baby.
Allyson Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable. You've got to stop. Not Allyson Friedman, you uncivilized mutt. What you're saying is unacceptable. Beat it. Get your out of this meeting. There is no place for uncivilized mutts like you in our program, in our organization, in our school. Get ghost. Which tells me, perhaps, the guy talking, you know what I'm saying? She's speaking his language. Perhaps she's speaking his language. Couldn't have been me, right? Let me put myself in his shoes for a moment. First and foremost, I would not have interrupted her. I would have let her talk. Ooh, talk. Keep on going. In fact, I would have muted everybody else. I would have just let her talk. Let her talk. Let her talk. Just keep on hanging yourself. Keep hanging yourself. She said that if you, let me get this direct quote from this uncivilized mutt. She said, if you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. That's a direct quote from Carter G. Woodson. But it doesn't matter if she was quoting Carter G. Woodson, a Black man. That doesn't matter. It does not minimize what she said, and she can't find a proper context to explain that, especially in the type of setting that she was. And, you know, the way she just was sidebarring while the main discussion is going on, she got it on mute because she is really repulsed by the little girl speaking. The girl is just expressing herself, how she felt about school, you know, and how and the treatment that she was receiving at school. So you could tell she didn't like that. You know, the thing is that what I find interesting is in this country, we're told to speak up for yourself. We're told to exercise our freedom of speech. You know, it's First Amendment is everything, right? We're told to stand up for ourselves, right? And we embrace rebels. Hell, we embrace gangsters. But it's something about when Black people stand up for themselves and Black people complain about the system that is in place to protect them, or a system that is in place, you know, for them to aid them. You know, when Black people complain about it, it's a problem. Like, for example, if you go back and listen to any of the Ghetto Boys music, you go back and listen to any of my music, you'll hear oftentimes that we would talk about what was going on in the world. We talked about corrupt officials. We talked about, law enforcement. We talked about the education system. We talked about racism, crime, and all that stuff, right? But when we would point out systemic racism or systemic problems, that was responsible for hurting our communities, they would oftentimes look at us like we were anti-patriotic, like it was something wrong with us. But you don't like it, go back to Africa or whatever they wanted to say, right? But so if a Black person complains about the country, then they're anti-patriotic. They don't like the country. They don't love the country. But if a white person complains about the country, they're a rebel, right? If you're Black and you complain, you're anti-patriotic. But if you're white and you complain, you're a rebel and you're just exercising your freedom of speech. If you live in a country, especially if you are from a country, if you are born in a country and you are a citizen of that country, you have a right to not just live in that country, but you have a right to critique that country. You have a right to critique the government. The government is supposed to be for the people, supposed to be working for the people. So you have a right to question the government. You have a right to critique the government. So don't ever feel bad about that. I know some of y'all out there be trying to not hurt people's feelings and, you want to get along with everybody, whatever. I say middle finger to them, man. If you can't understand what's going on out here and you don't understand that it's so bad out here that I got to speak up about certain things or we got to speak up about certain things, you're not for us, no way. And I'm not trying to impress you. I don't give a damn about you, nothing about you. I don't care nothing about you at all. And I don't care if you like me or not. And if you don't like me, hey, I don't like you 1,000 times more. That's how I rock. You rock with me, I rock with you. But if you against me, boy, I'm against you with every fiber of my existence, man. Yeah. But anyway, fam, moving on. This is Allyson Friedman. That's on the Hunter. The Hunter City University of New York website. The City of University of New York website. Yeah. So Allyson is an associate professor, lab website, Friedman Lab, specialization, cellular neurophysiology. Dr. Allyson Friedman is an associate professor in the Department of Biological Sciences. Okay. That's Allyson, y'all. So if y'all see her anywhere, just know that's what she looked like. Looked like she got some type of disease. If you look at her face, she kind of looked disease-ridden. That's her. Let me get a little closer. So try to make it human size, right? I know she's an animal, but I'm trying to make it human size so you can see her. Get a good look at her. And, average person might look at her and think that she's non-threatening, but she's an associate professor, which means that she have access to young people's minds. So imagine how she grades certain people of a certain hue, what she think about them. How many times if she gave a student a B that deserved an A? or, you know, a C that deserved a B. You got to be careful with these types. See, she come with the smile and all, fam. It's a whole starter kit. It's a starter kit. She come with the smile and all. See, I would have never stopped her. I would have let her continue to talk, and continue to just paint herself right into a corner. So now she's out of a job. I'm sure they're going to fire her. She's still on the website as of now, but I'm sure they're going to fire her because at this point, she's a liability. Notice that he said, you got to stop. You got to stop. Allyson, come on now, you got to stop. You see what our babies are subjected to, fam? See what our babies got to deal with? You see what they got to deal with? This is every day, fam. This is nonstop, every day, all day. We got to stop stopping them and let them finish. Let them talk. Let them talk. I love it when they get caught. Ooh, man, I love it when they get caught. I love it. I love it when they get caught. She apologized. Can you believe that? She actually apologized, said she was sorry. No, you know how I go, fam. The only thing she was sorry about is that damn mic was on. That's it. I'm gonna tell you something, fam. We got to start teaching our own kids more. Point blank, period. We got to start teaching our own kids more, especially when you start seeing what's going on with all of this Black history and stuff. They're taking Black history smooth out the schools. We got to start teaching our own kids. We cannot rely on the schools to do it because they're not going to do it. If they do teach them anything, they're going to teach them a lie. They're not going to give them the truth. They're going to teach them, they're going to teach our kids the same lie they taught us, the same lies that they taught us. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Allyson, watching you. No more talk.